Hey everybody, John Ruff here with Milano Music in Mesa, Arizona. I wanted to talk about reducing our volume when we're practicing a little bit. And there's one way that brass players can do that, and that's through the use of mutes. And let's take a look at that. As brass players, we have a very big variety of mutes that we can use. The first one I would turn to is the bucket mute. Cuts a lot of volume, gives you a beautiful mellow sound. Takes out quite a bit of volume. The next mute that I would look into would be a cup mute. And not just necessarily any ordinary cup mute, but the ones that I like are the adjustable cups, where the cup part of it moves. So by moving it, you can tighten it into the bell and get a different type of sound, which cuts a lot of volume. This also is a trum chord. Dennis Wick makes an adjustable cup. There's a whole bunch of companies that make adjustable cup mutes. So the first adjustment is going to be out a little ways, and this is kind of where a normal cup mute sits. There's definitely a reduction in volume. The tone is nice, but when you adjust the mute all the way towards the bell, it cuts volume even more and gives you a very unique sound that I very much enjoy. The next mute that I would look into that helps cut some volume and is something that you might actually already have would be the Harman or the bubble mute. This is a Joe Rao bubble, and it cuts a good deal of volume and still offers us a reasonable blow feel. It's got a cool sound to it, a lot of fun to play. It has a little bit more back pressure than either the cup or the bucket, but it may be just the ticket for your practice. The next mute that I would highly recommend to look into would be a practice mute. This is the Sh mute, S-S-H-H-M-U-T-E, Sh mute. It's a great practice mute, and it quiets things down an awful lot. So you can play late into the evening with something like this. It also offers a decent blow feel, so you don't feel completely backed up as you play. It offers probably the quietest play that you're going to get out of any of the mutes. It's going to give you the quietest result. In other words, the greatest noise reduction. The next mute I think is a fantastic mute, and that would be an electronic mute. I own one. I happen to own this model, the new Silent Brass model. Silent Brass electronic mute. What it does is it quiets the horn down like a practice mute does, but it goes through an electronic box. You can hear yourself in headphones, and it makes it wonderful to play. The advantage of the electronic mute is that it's quite quiet, but you can hear yourself in the headphones so you don't overblow. And this is kind of how it comes out in the headphones. So you actually can add reverb to it. You can also plug into the unit and put music through it and play along with it. So what you can do is you can take a source, whether it's a MP3 player, even your phone itself, and play into the box and balance the sound through the output of the source into the box and your mute volume to get a mix, and this is what would be coming out of the headphones. So it's fun to play along if you have one of these mutes. When it comes to string instruments, violin, viola, cello, and bass all have practice mutes that you can apply to your instrument, and that will help cut volume significantly.
Hi guys, my name's Beth, and this is what a violin or viola practice mute looks like. So without the mute, now practice mutes are different from the normal performance mutes that you might already have. The performance mute changes the color of the sound, and so many composers call for this in their music. But the practice mute actually dampens the sound quite a bit. So this is really great, of course, for practicing at home or in a hotel room. And with the practice mute on, it sounds like this. And here at Milano's, we have practice mutes for cellos, and we even have practice mutes for upright basses.
Unfortunately, not every one of us can cut our practice volume down by putting in a mute. If you play woodwind instruments, you already know this. So how do we deal with trying to reduce our volume in our practice environment? This may require us to change our environment to some degree and find a place either where we live or someplace convenient that we can get to practice and not disturb the neighbors or the family. So practicing out in an open living room is a little bit louder than if you were in an enclosed space. And one of the problems that we have in any building are going to be windows and doors. They're going to leak sound. So if you can't practice in this area, you're going to have to find ways to mitigate the problem of having too much sound. So one of the greatest places you can practice if you don't have an instrument that you can quiet down through the usage of a mute would be a walk-in closet if you have one. And the reason this is such a great place to practice is because of all the material that's hanging around you is actually absorbing sound, and it's going to deaden what does leak through the walls, so it's quite quiet. So another place that you can play and get some dampening or diffusion of sound is playing into a closet. So if you don't have a walk-in closet, you can go ahead and play into a regular closet, and it will help. You would be amazed how quiet playing inside of a car can be. There's not a lot of noise that is getting outside of the vehicle. So even if it's in the vehicle in your garage that you're practicing, this may be an option for you. If you do need to take the vehicle and park it somewhere, be sure you're parking in a very safe place. But this may be an option, whether it's the front seat or the back seat that works best. The car can be a great practice room. If you have any questions, you can give us a call at 480-827-1111. You can also look us up on the web at milanomusic.com. I hope some of this information has helped out so you can keep on practicing.